In today's video, we're going to talk about mastermind groups. We're going to talk about how do you set one up. If you've already set one up, how do you actually run it properly? Or maybe, what do you look for in a mastermind group if you're looking to join one?
So welcome to Profile 3 TV, and today we're joined by Miceál O'Kane from Seven Ventures. So Miceál, thank you very much for coming in. Much appreciated.
Thanks for inviting me, Karen.
Excellent. So we're going to talk about a topic today which is obviously very close to your heart, which is mastermind groups. So for people who don't know what a mastermind group is, you would mind telling us a little bit about that?
Yeah, sure. I mean, mastermind groups are just a fancy term for a group of people who get together. They have a shared goal. They give each other feedback. In some ways, they actually share their main goals and keep each other accountable for achieving those goals. You know, all the most successful people at the time have had mastermind groups of one way or other. If you think about, if I use maybe a corny one like King Arthur and the Round Table, but more significant people like Henry Ford and Thomas Edison were in a mastermind group called the Vagabonds, or Benjamin Franklin, he had a mastermind group called the Junta. And if you're actually really interested, if you look at modern business, modern startup and scale up and unicorn businesses, many of those have been in mastermind type groups. They're called accelerators. They're, you know, like Techstart or Ignite. But it's the same idea. There's groups of people getting together. They're keeping each other accountable. They're sharing their ideas and their goals, and they've got a shared goal. You know, it is said that we're the average of our 5 closest friends in terms of how much money we make, how successful we are. The people you surround yourself do impact on what you focus on, what's important to you, what you're trying to achieve. And you know, that's what a good mastermind group does. It brings together groups of people who have that common goal, who are working together towards, whether it's business success or fitness or whatever their goals are.
Amazing, very good. And you obviously in Seven Ventures, you've been heavily involved in startup groups.
Yeah, I mean, I've personally got a long history of starting companies myself, scaling them up and selling them on. The last 4 years as well, I've actually been working with, I've worked with I think over 85 companies, startups and SMEs, helping them to figure out how to build their business from scratch or to build their business from already a sound basis. So that's a real interest of mine, something I really enjoy.
Because you can see probably the impact that you have when you go into a business that's, I would say, struggling, but early in its path or hit a wall, and maybe I know your method, you go and ask some questions that probably people haven't thought of.
Sure. And
it makes people open their mind up.
Sure. I mean, I you know, when you're talking about a very early stage company, often it's the setup, how they structure it, or how they take the next best step. They often need a lot of help with that, and in the early stage, you know, if you're thinking you're going in a direction, if you start off a couple of degrees in the wrong direction, that has a massive impact within a month, 2 months, 12 months, and whether that's you've got the wrong agreement with your co-founders or shareholders, or if you've gone the route of trying to get funding off people before you've even tried to sell to somebody, or to a more stable company, maybe that the founders are really busy, you know, like an SME, maybe somebody who's got 10 staff, 50 staff. The founders are often very busy trying to do everything, and as I call it, they leave money on the counter. They don't maximize the business they have, in terms of efficiency, in terms of profitability, and it often helps to have somebody else, whether that's somebody like myself, or actually a group of like-minded people who are meeting periodically to share ideas and keep each other accountable, and to give that space outside of your business to think about your business, and to share ideas from people who've done it before, and then allow you to implement that in your business. That can be hugely impactful.
Yeah. And do you think, in all the businesses you've dealt with and you see, do you think a lot of businesses are missing tricks or leaving money on the table, not as lean as it should be?
Well, funny, I mean, I know this from personal experience in the businesses I've started, and that's how I know what to look out for and have and understanding what can be done to improve businesses. I found every single business I've encountered, they all have room for improvement, and that could be a very simple conversation about how to do things differently, or could actually be a piece of work about, well, let's just change the whole direction of the organisation, or there's an opportunity to efficiently, easily bolt on another business operation to what you're already doing. So there seems to always be room for improvement.
That's I was thinking that was the answer. So yeah, of course, because I'm thinking, oh my God, every business, like, there's always opportunities. If you're in a business, there's always going to be opportunities to sell more, or to spend less, or, as you say, to be more efficient.
And but the problem, though, founders like yourself and myself, often we try and figure things out ourselves and reinvent processes or systems or business models that have already been done. I mean, none of this stuff is new. Mm-hmm. It might be new to us, but there's somebody else who's already done it. There's somebody else who's already made the expensive mistakes and know now how to do it properly. And there is an obvious way of accelerating that.
Very good. And would you say most of the problems, or a lot of the problems, would be in finance or money related, or is it across the whole? Well,
I would say I would my background is finance and business operations, so that's an obvious place to look. But if you think about the key indicators in your business, which we all have, a fundamental one is how much money you're making. Mm-hmm. Fundamental one is how much money you're spending. So I would say that all these businesses, the issues they have will always boil down to that piece: how much money they're making, how much money they're spending. But that's not necessarily the problem. The problem's going to be somewhere else. Whether they've too many staff in, the wrong staff, they haven't trained their staff. It could be that they haven't got the pricing right, or they're selling the wrong product, or they haven't understood the competitive landscape. So maybe they could compete more effectively, or they should be moving into a different niche. So it's I wouldn't say it's one particular area in any business, in all businesses, but it does boil down to the numbers.
Incredible, excellent. So I know, and we started talking about masterminds, and it's very interesting. You shared some great ones. King Arthur, I hadn't heard of mastermind before. That's good. So I'm a busy business owner as well as we all are. And how would you convince me, or why should I start a mastermind group?
That's a good question. Why should you start your own mastermind group, or if you've already got a mastermind group, how do you run it properly? I suppose the best way is to talk about how we do it. So our mastermind group, we meet once a month online, and we share our goals, we keep each other accountable, and that's one of the main benefits of a mastermind group, is the shared accountability. You've got like-minded people with a shared goal, which could be to grow their business, for instance, and these people are working together and supporting each other, sharing the best practices that they have, keep each other on track. And one of the other big benefits of a mastermind group is goal setting. It gives you the insight, the foresight to know what to do next, simply because you're sharing these ideas and you come out of your business.
So you talk about goals, and you're talking about accountability. So these are things obviously we all know we should be doing, but oh my word, I have so many goals and everything else. But yeah, sometimes I'd be honest, I let them slip. Of course, the old classic is January, the start of the year, we set our goals.
Sure.
And check them the following January. But so there are key things, but you actually try and enforce these and get people to stick with them.
Well, I mean, enforce is a bit strong, because it's about working together. It's not about anybody getting beat up. But what would say a mastermind group in terms of goal setting? Getting back to that, it gives people the foresight and insight of what to do next. If you use an analogy, for instance, there's a guy called Wayne Gretzky. He's acclaimed to be one of the best hockey players of all time. And what he said, he wasn't able to score so many goals because he knew where the goal was, but because he knew where the puck was going to be. He had that sixth sense of where to be to catch the puck. And a mastermind group is kind of like that. It gives you the opportunity to see where you need to be, to really make your business successful.
Yeah.
You know, one of the other benefits of a mastermind group is the collaboration. You'll often find that your best partners for collaboration are the people within the mastermind group. There's a natural cohesiveness, or natural understanding of each other and trust. Actually, my favourite benefit of a mastermind group is that it's the best way to learn. I don't know about you, Kieran, but I'm more of a practical learner. You know, you can study all day, but it's really having done it, learned from doing it, and the success and failures of it. You know, here you are in a mastermind group. Here you are. You're with other people who've been in the weeds. They're doing it every day, day in, day out, and you're learning from them. I mean, that's far better than learning from somebody who's just read the theory out of a book.
And these people, would they be the same industry as you? Or?
The ideal thing is that they're, when you say that, sorry, there's different ways of looking at it. So you could have a specific mastermind group that you're setting up, and it could be that it's for a specific industry. You're bringing those people together, and classically, if it's done online, for instance, members can feel more comfortable that you're not dealing with your direct competitors, and you're able to deal with people who are from different geographic locations all over the world, and they can all bring their skills and experiences together. The other way to do it is that you have a group who are in a different sector, but you might say that they're all a similar size or a similar stage in their business, or you could just have completely different people and organisations. That's for the person setting up the mastermind to decide. The way I do it is we keep them as businesses that are at a similar stage in their development, so they're not startup, they're actually more SME, and they have similar challenges, but they're all in different sectors. And I find actually that mixture of organisations and people with the different experiences really does add value to the group. You've got people who've got an experience in a particular sector, and when you wouldn't naturally think it might fit into a different sector, but when people start discussing it and sharing what they've done, it's incredible how often they are relevant, and it can be revolutionary to a business that maybe traditionally doesn't do it that way.
Of course, I'm thinking, yeah, so we all hire people, so people issues will be the same. We all try and sell, and selling issues, so I can understand, yeah, you get some insights and people will think of doing things differently. So
but you might even have a traditional type of business who are doing it the way everybody in that sector does, and you talk to another organisation, say they're in a franchise model. That franchise model might actually apply to the business that is just doing it the way everybody else does it. Or they might find that actually they're talking to a digital company, and the digital company might have give another insight into how things can be done elsewhere, and it might be applicable to them. Might give them an edge on the competitors. Might make their business just more profitable.
So you run your own mastermind group, so is it any different to these structures you've explained, or you follow some of these principles?
Well, with setting up a mastermind group, the first thing you've got to do is to pick your topic. I mean, all mastermind groups are based around a specific topic, and it has to be a topic that it's a niche within your industry that you can attract people to. So some people, their topic is around business development, some is around business improvement, some is about fitness, some is financial planning. But what doesn't really matter what the topic is, as long as you can find people within your niche that are interested in that topic.
On the back of that then, so once you've found people that are in your niche and interested in the topic, so the topic could be finance or sales?
It can be absolutely anything. I mean, you want to, if you're setting up a mastermind group, you want to ideally do something that you have a keen interest in and a skill in, so you can add value yourself. This mastermind groups aren't usually about being lectured to or taught. They are groups of people who are coming together, but the facilitator ideally will have an interest in that and will have a background knowledge in, so they can contribute and keep everybody together. The other thing you do the other thing you need to do when you're setting a mastermind group is to find the right people. So you've got your topic, but what type of people do you want in there, what type of people are going to contribute to the group, they're going to add value, they're going to share their ideas, and that's going to improve it for everybody, as opposed to people who maybe are in there to compete or to pull down the group. So what you've got to do, you've got to find your niche within the ecosystem, find your right topic, the people who are interested in that topic.
So in your mastermind, you're focused on the topic, and then you carefully vet the people that come in, so make sure that it will be peer-to-peer learning then.
Absolutely.
Very good. And the outcomes, so is a mastermind, is it a set time, or is it indefinite, or people come in and out? What's the normal process there?
Again, if you're setting up your mastermind group, it's for you to determine what way to structure your mastermind group. So some mastermind groups will be, they'll just be forever. You know, you remember the mastermind group, and you meet periodically, and the group meets until often the group has achieved what they needed to achieve, and it becomes natural that they stop. Some mastermind groups are just for set periods. It might be for, maybe a 5-month period or 6-month period. So it really depends what best suits your topic, your niche, the group of people that you've attracted. My mastermind group's called Eight Mentors Mastermind. What really makes our mastermind group different is that we're really the only mastermind group out there that deals with business improvement to accelerate your growth. That makes our mastermind unique within the market, and really makes a difference to attract people to it.
Very good. So you're really niche down on your focuses on getting more sales.
Well, so business improvement isn't just about getting more sales.
Gotcha.
It encompasses the whole business operation. It could be about growing sales. It could go as deep as just like reviewing your business model. Many companies have set up their company on the fly. They've found out what worked, found out what people are buying, and gone with that, but never actually stood back and assessed their business model, or assessed their competition, assessed their internal processes. So again, ours is about business improvement to accelerate growth, and fundamental to that to me is to make your business more efficient, is to make your business more profitable, to allow you to reinvest and to grow your business more profitably.
Very good. No, very clear. And then again, I'm just thinking, how do you get people to join a mastermind group?
Well, that's key. Once you've decided what your topic is, you find the right people. You need to then attract those people to the group. So I would say it's essential that for any mastermind group you have an application process. I mean, nobody should be joining that mastermind without having gone through a vetting process. You don't want to leave it wide open. You don't want to just let anybody in, because a key thing is you're looking after this group. You're trying to build trust, harmony amongst the group. So you don't want to let some crazy person coming in who might undermine the group from the inside. When you've got your group together, you have to be protective of your family. You have to look after this group as a facilitator of the group. You've got to make sure everybody is in there, is working together, sharing, giving. It's not about taking. It's about giving first. And if you have people in there who are just takers, it removes the value of the group. So it's more than one time I've had to actually kick people off groups. People who are just there to get as much as they personally can out of it, and not sharing, not adding value. And so if you're setting up a mastermind group, you have to be comfortable with kicking people off and just giving them the money back.
Oh, very good. Interesting. And where should people consider hosting then a mastermind group? Would it be in a coffee shop, or where?
No, that's a good point. Actually, where can you host a mastermind group? Well, the way things are today, you can host a mastermind group wherever you think is best. If you wanted to split it just into categories, I mean, you can do it online or physical location. I do believe there's some magic that happens by bringing people from lots of different places together to share ideas, to share their experiences. But if you wanted to do it in a physical location, again, you've maybe two different options. One is, if you're like me and you like to stay close to home, you can have a mastermind group in your hometown or in a town nearby, bringing people who are businesses from that locality. The other physical location you do it is have a special destination. Some people like to set up their mastermind groups in like a holiday destination,
Wow.
to have that extra feature to attract people. So not only are you going on holiday, but you're also going to the mastermind group. It allows people to maybe spend that time in a nice location, somewhere they'd want to go anyway. They could have their holiday before the mastermind, after, or both. And it just makes the experience even more special.
Excellent. And is there a teaching element? I know you said it's more peer to peer, but is there a teaching element in it?
You can have a teaching element in it. The way I do it is I have an element where at each meeting I'll bring some new ideas in, new concepts, share some experiences that are relevant to that session. I like to have each meeting have a subject area, or at least a direction for the meeting, rather than just a free for all. So that in preparation for the meeting, everybody's kind of thinking in the same direction, and when they're sharing, it's relevant to everybody because they're already in that space. So it's not. I don't do it to teach heavy. I don't. It's not like a lecture, but there definitely is contribution for me at the beginning to get people to think, and to hopefully add value to the conversation.
Amazing, excellent. So again, you think masterminds, I guess here locally, and maybe for a lot of business owners that they've never thought of masterminds, they've never maybe even heard of the principles. So you think companies are missing a trick then by not looking at this resource that's available?
It's such an easy way to step out of your business, to network with other business owners, and to learn from their experience. It really has a multiplier effect, and the level of commitment is nothing like going back to college or horribly going. I don't know about you, Kieran, but I don't like going to networking events. I find that quite tedious, and I know a lot of people are put off those kind of things. This is different. This is a group, a family, people you learn to trust and feel open and able to share, warts and all, how things are going in your business.
Amazing. So in the mastermind, have you seen an ideal number, or how do you do? Is it like 20 people or 50 people or 2 people?
Well, it's interesting you say that, because if you look for mastermind groups, you'll find different sizes. But my research and experience has found that the optimum number is between 5 and 8. Any more than that, and not everybody gets an opportunity to fully contribute to the group. So
in the mastermind, again, if you're setting one up, how do you structure it?
Well, how we structure the mastermind group is, first of all, I kick off by just laying out the ground rules again, how we're going to play the game, just so everybody's fresh on what way this is structured. I then give everybody my biggest takeaway from the last meeting, just sharing that to keep bring everybody back on track. I then, as I said to you before, I then seed in some concepts, ideas, share some experiences in the subject matter we're working on that meeting, and then we go straight into the mastermind. So each participant has 30 minutes to present to the group. So the first 10 to 15 minutes, it's their turn to share their biggest takeaways, their aha moments, key things they've learnt, and they want to share and add and give to the group. When that's done, then the member then has 10 to 15 minutes to ask a question. So once they've given value, it's time for them to ask for value. And they'll share where they're stuck, or they've got an idea and they need help with it, and they're not too sure what direction to go. And for that 10, 15 minutes, the group helps them. Now, we don't actually hold back. We really do get brutal on people. Brutal in a nice way. Sometimes people will propose things and they get broken down in terms of their idea. But it's a safe, again, this is a closed environment. It's safe, everybody trusts everybody. And it's all done with the best intentions. But we don't leave them there. We build them back up again. So we'll give them proof validation. We'll say, look, I tried that and it didn't work, or I saw it being done in this other place and it didn't work, or maybe here's something else you should be trying to do instead. And by the end of that section, that person has something concrete to work with. It gives, to get them back in the right direction. So we talked about going in the right direction, and if you start at a couple of degrees in the wrong direction, you end up in a completely different place. There's nothing worse than doing everything right, running as fast as you can, but you're going in the wrong bloody direction. So we try and help, as a group, we try and help each other to start in the right direction, and then put all your effort into going forward. So at the end of that stage, all the members of the group on our closed Facebook group, they type in they share by typing in their biggest takeaway from that presentation from that member, and then it's the next person's turn. At the end of the group, we then share again our biggest takeaway from the whole session, and that's essentially the structure.
Very good. So it's initially it's a sharing element where you update everyone in your business, and then there's a support element as well, and where you can ask questions.
Exactly.
Maybe help. Very good.
Exactly.
And that's the meeting structure, which seems pretty clear and easy for even me to follow. So what happens after then? Would you recommend, is it weekly or bi-weekly or monthly?
Well, again, ours is monthly. Some groups might meet weekly or fortnightly, or some groups meet 6 monthly. It really just again depends on the facilitator, the group, the subject matter, the type of companies that are involved. But we don't just leave it there. I mean, one of the big add values that I bring to it is that I have a meeting with each one of the members once a month. So I call it the aftermind. So we have an intense one-to-one session focusing on a particular issue they have in their business, and they get the benefit of having a skilled, experienced business mentor for that 30 minutes, and that really adds value to the group meeting. It from my experience, it helps gel the whole thing together. So if anybody's getting stuck and they need help, it's getting sorted out outside the meeting, allowing them to add even more value when they get to the meeting, because they're in a better place. They're not hung up on something.
Very good. Excellent. So, very interesting. So, thank you for coming in and telling us all about Mastermind today. Very, very interesting. It's something I didn't think of actually a lot until recently, but as you probably know, I'm in a mastermind group of my own, but I have to say, until I joined that, I never appreciated what they're about and the value they can bring. So it transformed my business operation, without a doubt. So if anyone wants to find out about your mastermind, reach out and talk to you about it, what's the best way that they could do that?
The best thing to do is go on to 8mentors.com, and you can contact me through that webpage.
Amazing. Excellent. Well, thank you again for coming in and educating us all about Mastermind today. Much appreciated.
Thank you, Kieran.
Excellent.
It's been a pleasure.
Thank you for watching today. Hopefully you enjoyed this chat with Miceál. If you're interested in masterminds, again, as we're saying, a very interesting process where people come together and it's peer learning through a facilitator. I myself have grown our business massively in the last 2 years, and that's been facilitated by a mastermind group, so I can definitely say it works. So click on the links below this video, visit the page, and hopefully, as I say, you enjoyed this video, and we'll see you in tomorrow's video. This is Kieran from Profile 3, and we're the content marketing agency here in Belfast on the Springfield Road. See you tomorrow. Thank you.